Center tap full wave rectifier. I have given the introduction to the rectifier, the type of rectifier in my previous video, and I have given the link of that in my description. You can refer that. There are two types of rectifiers. One is half wave rectifier and second one is full wave rectifier. There are two types of full wave rectifiers. One is called center tap full wave rectifier and second one is called bridge rectifier. Now I am going to discuss about the center tap full wave rectifier today. Here a transformer is used. The use of a transformer I already discussed in the half wave rectifier, but here instead of a simple transformer, a center tap transformer is used. See, a tapping is taken exactly from the center, which act as the reference. So this will be 0. The speciality of this center tap transformer is, in the positive half cycle of the input signal, this point, if I call this as A will be at higher potential compared to O. So higher potential I represent by plus and lower potential will be represented by minus. So if I take this B at the same time, that is in the positive half cycle itself, this will be at lower potential compared to this. This is the speciality. So that is A and B are exactly out of phase. Now in this center tap full wave rectifier, two diodes are used, D1 and D2 with RL. Now we discuss about the working of this center tap full wave rectifier. Now as usual, we divide the explanation into two parts. One is what happens in the positive half cycle. So I have written the same thing here. In the positive half cycle, this is A will be at higher potential compared to B. So this is O. A will be at higher potential compared to O. So this is the input signal here. This is the maximum value Vm. At the same time, what about B? B will be at lower potential because you know A and B are out of phase. I already discussed. So this is minus Vm. Now since A is positive compared to O, the diode D1 become forward bias because higher potential is connected to anode. But what about D2? D2 will be at reverse bias because anode is given a negative potential, cathode is given a higher potential. So this is plus minus, here plus minus. Here it is the same thing. Therefore D2 becomes reverse bias. Now what are the current flows? That will flow in the upper loop through the resistor. So if I call this terminal as C. Now the current flows through the resistor in the path C to O. When the current flows, there will be voltage across RL. Now how much is the voltage across RL? See, when you apply this voltage, you get the same voltage here. Therefore, in the positive half cycle, this is 0, this is T by 2 and this is T. So in the positive half cycle, the output voltage across RL is this. That is exactly same as the input voltage. Now coming to the negative half cycle. In a negative half cycle, again A, B, this is O. In a negative half cycle, A will be at lower potential compared to O. Therefore, this is the situation. This is minus Vm. But what would B? B will be at higher potential compared to O. Therefore, this is the situation. This is plus Vm here. So the diode D2 become forward bias, act as a closed switch, but D1 becomes open circuit because it is reverse bias. Now what happens? The current flows in the lower loop in this direction because current flows from higher potential to the lower potential. B is at higher potential compared to O now. Now this is C. Now what is the output voltage? Output voltage is same as this voltage itself. So in the negative half cycle of the input signal, the output will be positive Why? Because in the positive half cycle, the direction of current is this. In the negative half cycle also, the direction of current is this through RL. That is from C to O, here also from C to O. So when the direction of current is same, the voltage will be having the same polarity. So instead of having a negative cycle, you get the positive half cycle. So it continues like this. Now again, this is called pulsating DC. Now what is the frequency? If the frequency of this is F in, F out will be equal to 2 times F in, because when this goes one cycle, this takes 2 cycles. That is why in a center tap full wave rectifier, or in general, if in a full wave rectifier, output frequency will be twice the input frequency. This pulsating DC consists of both AC as well as DC. Now what is the amount of DC? So that is average voltage, V average. I have discussed about how to calculate the average value in detail in a half wave rectifier. So I am not going to discuss it again, just I am directly giving the formula. So V average is equal to 0 to T Vm sin omega t divided by T into dt. Now if you see the pulsating DC, this is 0, this is T by 2, this is T. Now you can divide this into 2. From 0 to T, it is Vm sin omega t. Again from T by 2 to 0 to T by 2, it is Vm sin omega t. From T by 2 to T, again Vm sin omega t. So I can rewrite this as 2 into integration of 0 to T by 2 Vm sin omega t divided by T dt. This is equal to 2 Vm divided by T will be taken outside. Sin omega t, the integration is minus cos omega t divided by omega from 0 to T by 2. This will be equal to minus 2 Vm by T into omega. What is omega? Omega is 2 pi by T into cos omega t from 0 to T by 2. This will be equal to Tt gets cancelled. This is equal to minus 2 Vm divided by 2 pi, even 2 also get cancelled, into cos omega itself. I can write this again as 2 pi by T, that is omega, into T. T is T by 2 by applying the limits, minus cos, again omega is 2 pi by T into 0. So this whole term become 0. Which is equal to, now here Tt gets cancelled, 2 get cancelled, this will be equal to minus Vm divided by pi into cos pi minus 1 minus cos 0 is 1. So this will be equal to minus 1 is minus 2, minus 2 into minus plus. So therefore V average, that is equal to 2 Vm divided by pi. But in a half wave rectifier, average value or the DC value will be Vm divided by pi. Now next, the expression for RMS value. What is the RMS value? That is Vrms, that is equal to 0 to T Vm square sin square omega t divided by t under the root. This is dt. How I have already explained in the half wave rectifier. This will be equal to, again, Vm sin omega t repeats from 0 to t by 2 and from t by 2 to t. See here, from here to here it is Vm sin omega t. Again from here to here Vm sin omega t. So I can write it as 2 into 0 to t by 2 sin Vm sin omega t. So therefore this I will write this as 0 to t by 2, 2 into Vm square sin square omega t divided by t in under the root dt, which is equal to under the root, or you can take square Vrms square and you can remove the square root, or directly you can write, no problem. 2Vm square divided by t into integration of 0 to t by 2, 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 dt. Sin square omega t is 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. So this is equal to under the root 2Vm square divided by t into integration, again I can take 2 also outside, this 2, into t minus sin 2 omega t divided by 2 omega from 0 to t by 2 equal to 2 get cancelled, Vm square divided by t into, you can apply the limits, t by 2 minus sin 2, omega is again 2 pi by t, into this t, that is apply the limit, that is t by 2, divided by, this is sin 2, divided by 2 into omega is 2 pi by t, which is equal to Vm here, 2 get cancelled, t get cancelled. So this is sin 2 pi. So the whole thing will be 0. Therefore this will reduce to Vm square divided by t into t by 2. Therefore Vrms will be equal to square root of t get cancelled again, Vm square by 2. Therefore it is Vrms, that is equal to Vm by root. In the case of a half wave rectifier it was Vm by 2. Next, the expression for the ripple factor. R. Now in the previous video we have derived the expression for the ripple factor, that is the general expression. What is the general expression? Ripple factor R, that is equal to square root of Irms square divided by IDC square minus 1. Now in a full wave rectifier, what is Irms square or Irms? That is equal to, this is Irms is Im divided by root 2. Irms, it is square divided by IDC. IDC is 2Im by pi. VDC is 2Em by pi. So IDC is 2Im by pi. It is whole square minus 1. So which is equal to Im get cancelled. So this will be equal to under the root pi square, this pi square divided by root 2 square, that is 2, into 2 square, that is 4, minus 1. So this will be equal to, this will turn to be 0.486. This is the ripple factor. Now, what do you mean by ripple factor? It is actually the ratio of AC component to the DC component. Ripple factor is less than 1 means the denominator is less than the numerator. What is there in the denominator? It is the DC component. And what is there in the numerator? That is the AC component. So AC component will be lesser than the DC component. That means this full wave rectifier consists of more DC compared to AC, unlike in a half wave rectifier. In a half wave rectifier, the ripple factor was 1.21. So that means AC voltage was more than the DC voltage. That is why a half wave rectifier is not preferred, because it consists of more AC than DC. Next, what is the efficiency? Efficiency is equal to output DC power divided by input AC power into 100%. Output DC output power divided by AC input power into 100%. Now this is equal to, what is the DC power? DC power is equal to I square into R. I DC square into RL divided by, what is P in AC, that is the AC input power, that is equal to I RMS square into RL plus RF. So I told what is this in the previous video, why it is RS plus RF. So please refer my previous video. The link is given in the description. Now this since RL is very large compared to RF, I can neglect this RF. Therefore, efficiency will be given as I DC square divided by I RMS square, because RL get cancelled after the approximation. This is equal to, what is IDC? IDC equal to 2Im by pi. This is whole square divided by IRMS. It is Im by root 2. It's square, which is equal to Im get cancelled. So this is equal to 4 divided by pi square into 2. So that is 8 pi square. Sorry, 8 divided by pi square into, I say 100%. So everywhere you have to multiply by 100% anyway. So this will be equal to 81.2%. The efficiency of a full wave rectifier is 81.2%. That is 81.2% of the input power is converted into DC output power. Remaining is nearly 19% nearly. That will be wasted. That will be not converted into DC. But in the case of a half wave rectifier, it was 40.6. So here the efficiency will be doubled. So this is the maximum efficiency. Practically the efficiency will be always less than this. Next, what is the peak inverse voltage? Or in short, it is called as PIV. What do you mean by peak inverse voltage? This is the maximum reverse voltage that can be applied or that can be dropped across the reverse bias diode. You have seen the avalanche breakdown in the VI characteristics. So to understand about the avalanche breakdown, again see my another video and the link is again given in the description. Now you have to apply, you can apply a maximum voltage when the diode is reverse bias. If the voltage exceeds than that, then the diode will spoil. So what is the maximum voltage that drops across the reverse bias diode? That is we are going to derive. So if you see here, I'll take any one of this, either the positive half cycle equivalent or the negative half cycle equivalent. Any equivalent if you take, I need only the loop where the diode is reverse bias, because I want to calculate the voltage across the reverse bias diode. So I'll take one loop. So if I write this as, this is the transformer and here I'll take this RL, this is RL, and here this is D2. Now I don't require the upper part, so I'm not taking it. Now here the voltage is plus minus, here Vm, maximum voltage, and here it is minus plus. This is the voltage across the diode D2. This is nothing but the peak inverse voltage. Okay. Now what is the voltage, output voltage? Output voltage will be flowing like this. So this will be plus minus. This is not here. Here plus minus, because the output voltage goes like this. Okay, in the upper loop. So this is the output voltage, plus and minus. Okay. Now we apply KVL to the lower loop. What we get? Minus Vm, this one, minus what is the voltage across RL, that is V0, minus V0 plus VD2, that is equal to 0. So that means this is equal to minus Vm minus, how much is V0? Maximum V0 is Vm. See here, in the here, maximum V0 is Vm. Okay. So this is also Vm equal to VD2 minus VD2. Therefore, what is peak inverse voltage? That is equal to VD2, that is equal to Vm plus Vm, that is 2 Vm. In the case of a half wave rectifier, it was Vm. Now here it is 2 Vm. That is, when Vm volt drops across this, here the voltage drops will be 2 Vm. If this is 10 volt, this will be 20 volt that drops. So there are chances of spoiling the diode, because if the voltage exceeds the maximum voltage, the diode may spoil. So here if it is 10 volt, here it will be double, that is 20 volt.